These moles, you guys want me to tell you why I think that the internet is so fucking crazy? Because I was on TikTok, right? And I saw this story randomly. They were talking about this rug being buried, and it seemed a little too spooky for me. And I'm alone at home, so I was like, I'm not trying to scare the shit out of myself right now. So I scrolled past that, completely ignored it. A few days later, I was scrolling on TikTok again, and then I come across this news clip, and it's that same girl, and she's talking about how there's a bunch of cops in her house, and they're actually investigating that rug, and blah, blah, blah. Now, that's when I knew things have gotten out of hand, and now things from TikTok cross over to real life, and it's scaring me. And if for whatever reason you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this girl over here, I believe her name is Katie, she did this whole series, which I have yet to see at all because I'm too scared, where she was talking about her house that she lives in, and she was like, hee hee ha ha, I think this shit is haunted, some weird things are happening. My son's phone, was plugged in and it was at 100%, and he woke up and it was at 3%, crazy things. That's ghost behavior. And I was like, oh. But then she goes, and I think she was trying to put up a fence or something. She starts digging, and then they find a random rug that's buried like 4 feet deep. And they're like, holy shit, what the hell is this? Because obviously it's not common for a random rug to be buried in a yard, right? And on top of that, whoever lived in that house previously, they put a tree planted on top of that. So they dug the rug in, and then they went and then put a tree over it. They planted a tree right over it, and the tree had a crazy name. I don't know. Let me check real quick. Okay, I'm back. I couldn't figure out what the name of the tree was, but it said something about blood, and I was like, oh shit. That's not a good sign. So she calls the cops, they come over, and they're like, oh, well, it is what it is. And basically, they do nothing about it. So she goes on with her day, and she was like, okay, well, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and dig this shit out myself. So I'm going to have a little wine party, have all my pals over, and we're going to dig this shit out. Now, thankfully, before they could go ahead and scare the shit out of themselves, somebody else from the government contacted her, and they were like, hey, is it okay if we go bring some cadaver dogs to check that rug out? And she was like, cadaver dogs? Okay. So they bring the cadaver dogs out, and guess what? They're like, oh, hey, woof, woof, I think there's something going on here. They sit right next to it, and they're like, woof, woof, motherfuckers, check this rug. Now, ultimately, it turned out to be nothing, but they took a sample of the rug just to test it out, and they're like, yeah, even a nosebleed could cause one of these cadaver dogs to act like this, so it's nothing crazy. Cover up. But anyways, all this to say that the internet is a wild place, and I never in a million years thought that anything on TikTok was going to be this much of news, but here it is. If there's any part of the story that I'm missing, go ahead and fill me in on this down below in the comments, because again, I haven't been keeping up because I was too scared to, honestly. This is all tidbits that I got from the news and such, but shit's crazy. I don't know, guys. But anyways, don't forget to like and follow for more gossip, chisme, and all things tea.